Right, I'm here again now for part 2 of Raging Rights. Raging Rights. Well, like I said before, it can be that way. Right, I finished part 1 on 1983. That was when I opened my gym, and that was England's Body Shop in Cannock. Now, I started the gym obviously, and then supplement people would come round, and then I actually got a good supply of anabolic steroids as well. Right, so I had a young staff nurse that lived quite near, who was trained at the gym, and she actually showed me how to do the injections into the glute. To do them myself, which is a bit difficult, and she did say that at this particular time you had to give the injection and then draw back to see if there's any blood in it, and then if it did, you have to redo the injection. But I believe now, I've never done it in over 20 odd years, if not longer, of doing injections into the glute. I've never done the spotting into the arms and everything, because that doesn't make sense anyway, because as the doc says, wherever you give the injection, it might swell the muscle a little bit because there's a little bit of the oil's gone in there, but it has to go through your liver first before it actually starts working. So there's no point in spotting. So anyway, I first started with testosterone cypionate. Now, it was okay, but I felt like I was carrying some water using this drug. And then I bought quite a number of things off the gentleman when he first arrived. And I also bought testosterone enanthate, and what was it called now? I think it was called testananth or something like that. Anyway, but they were all single ampoules. I've never used 10-shot bottles because I believe it's so easy to copy 10-shot bottles. I've always used the single 1 ml ampoules, 250 milligram or 200 milligram. And so I then switched to the testananthate, and that suited me fine. In fact, the testananthate sharpened me up. I got harder, more muscular. Now, according to Ask the Doc, who I'm a big favourite of, that doesn't make any sense, because there's only one carbon difference between testananthate and cypionate. But even he now acknowledges that it does do that. But there's another steroid which I'll come to shortly, which also does that to me as well. Right, so what I did, I used that for a number of months, and I put some good size on and strength, and I felt really good, especially on the enanthate. And I was using 250 milligram every 10 days, which is what I've always done. I've never gone really higher than that. Maybe 50 milligram, but that's about it. So anyway, so I'm now thinking of coming up for a competition. So I'm thinking of doing the no, it wasn't that one, was it first? It was a middleweight. I was training for the IFBB middleweight contest. This would be around 1986, 85, 86. So what I did, I actually discovered, the guy came around and says, this is a great new one from France, Parabolon. Now, Parabolon was a 76 milligram in 1 ml. That's all it was, 76 milligrams. And I had one shot every 7 days. I tell you what, I never felt anything like it. It was incredible, absolutely incredible. The muscle pump, and I've got to say this as well, whether this is just me again, I don't know. The erections was amazing, which it's not really what it should be about, is it? But that's just a side effect that seemed to work. But anyway, I trained for this show, and I probably looked the best I've ever looked in a long time. And in fact, let me just quickly show you. I had some pictures that I took when I was using this stuff. And as you can probably guess, I'm not going to find the one I'm looking for, am I? But that's life, isn't it? Yeah, I got it. Yeah, so anyway, I tried for this middleweight. Now, this was maybe 10 days before. It's an old photo, obviously, but this is the condition that I achieved using this Parabolon. is a back shot here, look. I have never been in this sort of condition before in the whole of my life. It was exceptional. But anyway, 2 days before the show, then I had trouble with Parabolon. It made me so bloody hungry. I could have ate a chair. I was absolutely ravenous. So I thought, well, it's 2 days before now. I'll start taking a couple of bananas, nothing excessive, carb up for the show. Carb up. I smoothed out like a bloody bull elephant in 2 days. And I never actually entered this show because I blew it. But I didn't know what this stuff did. But anyway, one of the guys that trained at my gym, Vince his name was, he used it for the over 40s competition, and he got an amazing condition. I think he come second or third in this show. And then the following year, he was going to enter again. So Parabolon, the same, started using it again. Didn't work. It did not work. And at that particular time, the Parabolon, you used it the first year. You then androgens did not accept this steroid for another 12 months later, and then they sort of closed down on it. Ever so weird. Now Parabolon, which is obviously what they class as Parabolon now, well, the Parabolon I used was actually made for human consumption. Parabolon, as you know, is veterinary. It's only meant for animals. We shouldn't really use that. I've never used Parabolon. I used the male stuff, which was what I've just said. So anyway, what I did, I switched to DECA, training for the show, and that worked the same for me. That not as good as Parabolon, but it was good. But you've heard the thing about DECA, and apparently I believe it's the same with Parabolon. Never affected me. In fact, it went the opposite. But that everybody's different. What does something to one person doesn't do it to another. So that's what I did anyway. Parabolon did not work. 2 years later before it. Oh, yeah, I tried to try propionate, but that didn't really. Testosterone propionate, that didn't do nothing for me either. It was too short-lived and it didn't really work. So anyway, so what I did do then, I entered the show in 1988, which is a qualifier, IFBB qualifier for the Mr. United Kingdom. That was in 1988. Now, if I remember right, it's in that picture. 2 seconds. I didn't plan on doing these pictures, you see, and then I just sort of spotted them on the floor. But as luck would have it, can't bloody find it. But anyway, I got down to 10 stone 10. Here's a quick picture. 10 stone 10. That's all I weighed in that picture there. And I came second. Now the winner of that was the current British champion. His name Kevin something or other. I can't remember his surname now. But only the winner qualified. And a week later, he was already won the British title twice. A week later, he won the British title. Now I came second to him in the qualifier. So, you know, that's life, I suppose, isn't it? But yeah, that was my first delve into the hardcore stuff. But after that, I switched back to testing anthite, and I didn't really enter contests. And I was 40 when I entered that one at East Midlands, and I did a couple of over 40s when I was getting around to the well, actually after that, what happened after that? I went back into wrestling. Which was maybe a stupid mistake, but then I trained for that, and that's a different story. But I've got some good photographs from different shows we did. But that's basically it, really. It was quick and short, but that was my main sort of experiments with anabolic steroids. As you know now, I'm using the MK677. I've not used steroids now for 6 months, but that's another story to come up with later on. So anyway, so that's it. So the roid rage, testosterone, anabolic steroids is over, and I shall speak to you. So I'm talking again. Thank you, sir.